Alright, hello, this is ZMaster587, developer of Advanced Rocketry. I haven't been talking in the last couple of videos, but thought may as well start now. Got a couple of new machines here. Got the electric arc furnace, which is used to smelt higher tier materials down, in addition to making silicon. That's broken. Sometimes stuff like this occurs in the development environment because I've been switching around enums a bit, so the types of material basically change, not the item stacks changing. So that's not going to happen on release, but in development it happens once in a while when I forget to clear it out. Trying to remember, I have a bunch of materials here. I think, if I remember correctly, steel was made from iron and sand. So let me get some sand. This is actually one of the first blocks I made. I'm sorry, cold sand. But revisited it later on because I made a new multi-block system. And the original kind of was on its own and didn't fit in, so I ended up remaking it. Used most of the same blocks, but using the updated system. This thing takes quite a bit of time to smelt. You can see it's running here and the hardest part's filling up. This right here is a toggle switch. Not sure if you can see the mouse. If you see the titanium rod, but this can be used to turn the machines on and off. When it's off, if the machine's currently processing something, it will continue processing something, or whatever it was processing until, it's done processing, but it won't start the next thing. Turning it on, if it's not processing anything, we'll start it processing whatever it can from the inventories. I've got a little meter here that tells me how much energy is in the machine. Energy is put at the top. Up here are gold blocks underneath here. I'm going to probably change those to electrodes eventually. The two new machines I have here are the lathe. One of them is a lathe, which is used to make these rods, which are going to be required for various things. Currently, the steel rod is required to build a structure tower and with a fuel tank, as well as machine structure. There'll be a manual way of making rods and steel plates. As of right now, there isn't. Alright, so you have the ability to survival, but you will be able to. I'm going to add a few tools to do that. It's going to be much more efficient to build the machine, but what's going on here now? The machine's pipes are fully capable or compatible with any item pipes, and so I can pump stuff in, take stuff out, etc., etc. I kind of designed these little prong things here to size with Buildcraft pipes, and it should size with other pipes decently pretty well too. I've got some titanium ingots here. So let's turn this machine on. You can see the lathe is making a rod of titanium now. This little, I'm not sure what you call scuttle thing, goes back and forth. And you can see the rods spinning here. Ran out of power. Yeah, the machines will stop if they run out of power. You can see the output here. I've been making titanium rods during testing quite a bit. Let's see, make copper rods as well. As you can see, when it goes to make the copper rod, the color of the rod has changed to the color of copper. So this automatically uses the color of the ingot you put into the hatch. Here, I can find a lever real quick. I can demonstrate, or I can show how it's kind of nice. This bottom part here actually has the output, and you can pump stuff directly out of it. If I were to deconstruct the machine, which at least in creative I can do just by hitting it, it turns back into its multi-block, or the standard blocks. This is the input hatch here. This goes on top, output hatch down here, goes on the bottom. Two machine structures, the RF plug, which takes RF. You will be able to use other blocks here that will take in various different power. eventually we're going to have IC2 and, depending on what else power systems are popular, we'll probably add support or upon request. Put the motor here, motor required to spin the rod, and I can right click on the lathe controller block to assemble the structure, and there you go. Now it's back to processing. Newest structure, which I completed earlier today actually, these, is the plate bending, or not plate bending, I'm sorry, the rolling machine, which is used to make plates. This is one of the cooler ones. There's currently no way of making copper plates. If I need to use copper plates for something, or upon request, I'll probably just add support for that. Actually, other mods do have copper plates, so I'll probably be adding support for that anyway. Alright, make sure you've got power. The power buffer bar is not spun properly in here. I'll need to fix that sometime later today, or when I wake up tomorrow. Put some titanium ingots in here. I'm going to show you what this thing looks like while it processes titanium. As you can see, the little ingot goes down the chute, comes out, becomes a plate. On the other side, it gets deposited into the output hatch. These output hatches here can also be connected to by pipes and various other means of extracting and putting items in the output. Whoops. I accidentally broke the block here. There we go. Start swinging again. You can see the ingot. It's out of power. The ingot's going down the chute here, goes into the rollers, comes out of the plate on the other side. What I've been aiming for with my newer machines is actually being able to see the process being done. This tank here will eventually be replaced by something other than a fuel tank, but a tank nonetheless. And for this machine to run, it will be required to pump coolant into here, like water, because in the real-life counterparts, they usually have pretty hot metal here. In game, it doesn't really look hot, but it still looks interesting. So I'm going to turn that off. You'll see that it stops processing, and the machine has come to a halt. Also, there's gears on the side that actually mesh together while the machine's running. Heating coils here are supposed to heat up the ingot and melt it, like you have in a real-life counterpart of this machine. And that's it for this development video. Maybe more to come, a few bugs to fix, and hopefully release soon. Good night.